Samuel, and Bright's got his body in the way. He's kept that in play, and then he's now trying to wriggle past his marker, and he's managed to do so. Good strong play from Bright Osei Samuel to the ball, and he's set up Marc Pugh for Marc Pugh's first goal in the hoops of Queen's Park Rangers.
Hello guys, and thanks for tuning in as always. Now I'm more than privileged to say that I'm joined by former Premier League and current QPR star Marc Pugh. Now Marc has represented the likes of Bournemouth, Bury, Hull City, Burnley, a few other clubs there as well. Hello Marc, firstly, many thanks for offering your time to speak to me today. It's great to catch up with you during these testing times that we're faced with in lockdown. I hope you're keeping well.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, good to see you. Good to speak to you. Well, I can see you on Zoom. But no, yeah, it's nice to chat, and hope you're well, mate.
No, it's a very difficult time for us all at the moment. I've seen on social media that you're quite handy in the kitchen, setting up your foodie footballer account on Instagram, which has been quite a big hit, showing off your cooking skills while sharing your daily fitness regimes on there. Yeah,
I try. I mean, it's a big passion of mine. I wasn't always great at cooking, but yeah, I got a real passion for it 6 or 7 years ago when we had our second child. Because as a family, we're originally from up north. We live in Bournemouth, and the wife had a lot on her plate at the time, so it was my way of helping out around the house to do a bit of cooking. So yeah, I did that, and I just grew to love it. Find it really therapeutic, and health, fitness, nutrition. Really important to me. So I decided to set up my page to sort of give people an insight to what I eat and my fitness regime on a daily basis. And hopefully it can inspire a lot of people and help them, not only athletes, older generation, younger generation, to be the healthiest versions of themselves.
Now, obviously, due to the coronavirus pandemic, we've been left with no live sport for some time now, which is a bit of a strange feeling. Just how would you assess the current campaign? Of course, we don't have any clarity on the situation in the Championship or if the season will be finished, but just how have you found life at QPR since joining the club in July?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a real challenge for me because it's a lot more driving as opposed to driving down the road to Bournemouth, but it's been a good challenge. I've stepped out of my comfort zone. That was one of the reasons I set up my the Foodie Footballer account, because I was having a lot more time in hotels. It was keeping me busy. I was educating myself a lot more on foods that fuel my body, recovery strategies, that kind of thing. So, but on the football side of things, I've absolutely loved it. It took me a while to get into the team. We've got a great young squad. And I just had to keep working hard. Before the lockdown, I think I played the last 6 games and we were unbeaten in 6. So, yeah, really pleased with how it's going. And who knows when the football season is going to get back up and running. We've got no dates yet in that respect. But the health and safety of everyone involved is the most important thing. Fans, players, staff, everyone. So I think we need to follow the guidelines and just be ready when called upon.
So let's just quickly take you back to where it all started for you, Marc. Obviously joining Burnley, a club which you've supported all your life at such a young age, playing under the guidance of the great Stan Turner himself. Just talk us through joining Burnley and making your professional debut.
Absolutely, it's what dreams are made of. I loved playing for Burnley as a scholar. I didn't break into the first team as much as I'd liked. I mean, understand Turner absolutely loved me as a player, and I was on the bench away at Villa Park in the Carling Cup. It was back then. That was a great experience, and I was sort of training with the first team. And then a change of manager, Steve Cotterill, came in, and obviously I wasn't really favoured, which was really hard to take at the time, but it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because maybe I'd signed a 2-year contract and not played much first team football, whereas I was told I wasn't good enough by Steve, which was a kick in the teeth, but it made me a stronger character. And the following season I signed for Bury, and I played 40 plus league games in League 2 and got kicked to death as a winger. Defenders kicked me all over the place, but it toughened me up. It toughened me up as a winger, and I learned to deal with setbacks a lot better. So yeah, I mean, looking back, loved my scholar at Burnley. Learned a lot. Terry Pashley was my manager at the time. what a guy, amazing coach. I think he's still doing a bit of scouting for Burnley now at the moment. And he made me the player I am. He was a big part of making me the player I am today because, he was a tough nut. He worked on my game tirelessly. And it was a real good learning curve for me.
So prior to joining Burnley, Mark, what given you the option of becoming a professional footballer? At what point did you think, right, I can really do this at a serious level? Obviously, your brother Lee also plays football non-league at the moment, so it's in the family. So just how did it all come about, starting aspiring to be a professional footballer?
I was 4 years old. I was kicking it. I used to kick the ball against my wall. I was in a local academy. Working on my technique all the time. It was all I ever dreamt about. I never had a plan B. I looking back, I wish I'd have worked a lot harder in school, but my main focus was becoming a professional footballer. That's all I dreamt about and all I ever wanted. So, but it started to feel real at like 15, 16 when Burnley were really keen on me. I was playing Sunday League up until 13, 14 years old, and then I got spotted by Bury, then Burnley, and there was a few clubs like looking at me. So, Burnley gave me the opportunity. I was scoring lots of goals at youth team football, playing as a right winger in my first season or two, and then I went to a striker in my last season. I think I scored 26, 27 goals in 17 appearances for reserve and youth team football. And I had really good stats. I think that's what was really frustrating, that I never got given the opportunity at Burnley, because in that final season, to be told you're not good enough when you've got like decent stats like that, and it was tough to take. But like I say, it was a great stepping stone, and love the process of it.
So then from Burnley, you made the move to League Two as you joined another relatively local side in Bury. As you say, they're making 41 appearances for the club. Just how was it getting regular football and playing in League Two? A great set of lads at Gig Lane.
Yeah, a great set of lads. We had a real good group of lads. We wanted to work hard. We had a laugh. That's what it's all about, having a laugh and getting results at the end of the week. I mean, you've got to work hard on a day-to-day basis, Monday to Friday, prepare for a Saturday. And I really enjoyed it. To be 19 years old, playing 41 games that season with, I think I scored in the FA Cup against Weymouth. And it was a challenging season because the pitches weren't the best back then, especially in League Two. But yeah, it's like I said, it's all part of the process, all part of the learning curve. And I played with some real good quality players, and it was an eye opener. But as a kid, I went from youth team football, reserve team football, to a really competitive League Two, which I don't think we finished particularly high in the league. But no, it was really enjoyable.
So for you as an ex-Bury player, it must be so sad and disappointing to see what happened last year. Obviously, the club going to liquidation. I feel sorry for the likes of, say, Nicky Adams, who's been at Bury 3 times and had to leave the club. He had no choice as he joined Northampton in the summer. But for you and all the other ex-Bury players, it must be so sad to see what happened.
Really sad. Every club I've been at, I always keep track of them. Bury, Hereford, it's so sad to see, because a lovely set of fans. They wanted the club to do well. Like I say, Nicky Adams is a great footballer. Always got assists, always got goals. I think he went for a real purple patch on the Bury. I think that's when he got his move to Leicester. Like I say, sad to see. I mean, the football world, it's what everyone absolutely loves it, and it's never nice to see a club like that, especially a big club. You've got some good quality players come through the ranks at Bury. You look at Dave Nugent back in the days, Simon Whaley. There were games when I used to watch them before I signed for Bury. They were at Bury, and real good players.
What I like about Bury as well, it's more of a family-like club where the fans get involved probably more than you would get at any other club. The fans communicate with the players. It's great to see, and it was so sad to see what happened with the fans after obviously the announcement was made that they were going into liquidation. There were so many upset fans. People have supported Bury all their lives.
Yeah, like you say, it was a family club, and especially when you're playing, it's a real tight grind. But it was it looked really modern when you was in as well, and it was a nice place to play. And you certainly knew if you weren't playing well, you did let you know what you did. But no, at the end of the day, fans pay the money. They have their opinions, and I think as long as a player you're working hard and they can see you're giving everything for the cause, and that's all that matters. You know, you can have off days, you can play poorly, your first touch can be off, you can miss a shocker of a chance. But if you're working hard to put things right, then I think that's all fans ever want. And yeah, it's been a really difficult time for Bury, and I hope they can sort of rise up the leagues and, you know, come back.
Now, after Bury, you went on to represent Shrewsbury for a brief period, then on to Hereford, in which you produced some great performances, including particularly against Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, which culminated in you joining the club at a later date. I'm led to believe that the Hereford chairman at the time was quite a big fan of yours, despite letting you go to Dean Court.
Yeah, I only signed a year contract with Hereford, and I had a great season. I think scored 13 goals, 3 against Bournemouth, 2 in the home fixture and 1 in the away fixture. And yeah, had a really good year. Hereford at the time, I think we finished around 15th, 16th in the league. For our budget we had at the time, it was, you know, we were quite happy with that. But Bournemouth got promoted, went to League One, and I had to jump at the chance. It was a long old way, mind, especially travelling down south at the time. I knew that season at Hereford I really needed to push myself, because the season before, for another change of manager in my final year at Shrewsbury, I got told I was not in their plans. I was on my honeymoon at the time. I got a phone call saying I was getting released. I had a wedding to pay for, all that kind of thing. So,
Wow.
and then a few days after that, Hereford called, said we wanted to give you a year contract. So I said to the missus at the time, look, this is a real, I need to make this work now. I can't keep going from club to club. I need to knuckle down, work hard, do everything right. And that season, it all clicked into place, and Bournemouth took a chance on me, and the rest is history.
So football and life, Mark, it's all about up and downs, isn't it? Obviously, without those managers telling you that you weren't good enough, etc., you wouldn't probably be the player you are today. It's all about giving you that determination. And what gave you the self belief to carry on after those comments, just to knuckle down and be the best version of yourself?
Yeah, I think I look a lot into the mental side of the game, and I'm big into that. And I mean, failing in life is an opportunity to bounce back. I mean, without failure, you can't reach the level you want to reach. It's really important that you learn to deal with setbacks. You look at it, you analyze it, and you work out where you've gone wrong, just to be, you know, the best version of yourself. If you can't deal with the setbacks, then you're going to struggle in life. I mean, with anything you do. I mean, no one's perfect. We've all got mistakes in us, but if you're doing everything in your power to, you know, come out on top, and whether it be working at your game, whether it be if you've got another job, you lose out on a sale, you work even harder to get the next sale. It's just part of the process and part of the learning curve, and it's a really important factor in the world of sport, because you're going to have bad games, you're going to have good games. It's important. I always say, I stick by this with everything I do. Never get too high with the highs, too low with the lows. You score a goal one week, yeah, celebrate it, go home, spend time with your family, forget about it, move on to the next week. And you have a beast, do the same. Just basically live a lifestyle where you're just not letting things get on top of you.
So obviously, scoring those 2 goals against Bournemouth for Hereford prior to signing for the Cherries, was the move to Bournemouth as simple as that? You had those 2 really good games, and was it as simple as right, let's get Mark on board?
It was. It weren't. Well, when we were driving down, it weren't as simple as that, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, there was no other club that really came in for me. Bournemouth showed a keen interest. Me and the wife drove down south. We met up with Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall, and we just clicked. We had a meal out with them. Their old philosophy of playing football, the banter they had. They were really professional, but you know, they knew how to have a laugh, and they ticked all the boxes for me. They wanted success, as you've seen with Bournemouth. The willingness to learn and achieve more is what they stand by, and that's what really sealed the deal for me.
So now on to playing League One football with Bournemouth, signing for £100,000, hitting the ground running, the club's top goal scorer for 2 years running. It must have been a great feeling at Dean Court, being part of a great side, and forgetting about what we just spoke about there, all those negative comments. That's completely gone out the window. It's all about remaining positive and, like you say, just keeping a healthy mind.
Yeah, it's a healthy mind's massive. I mean, I was on fire. I was in my first season. I picked up a lot of awards at the end of the season. I was really confident. I was playing well. I think it was around 12, 13 goals and a lot of assists in my first season with them. We just missed out on the playoff. We lost in the playoffs to Huddersfield, which was really frustrating. We went 3-2 up in extra time. They pulled it back to 3-3, and then we lost on penalties. So yeah, that was a real kick in the teeth. We obviously lost Eddie Howe as well in the process, which was mentally challenging for me personally as well, because I moved down to Bournemouth for Eddie Howe. I love the way he plays football, and then he came back the following season. So it was all over the place. But yeah, it's just football, full of ups and downs. I mean, it's an incredible sport, and that's why everyone loves it. It's so unpredictable. You can think one team's going to win, and like there's so many shocks in football, which is why we all love it.
So let's move on to the Championship briefly. So just how was life in the Championship compared to League One? Obviously, you formed a great relationship with Ryan Fraser from the very start of that. But can I just take you back to that record-breaking 8-0 win at Birmingham City, scoring your first career hat-trick in the process?
Yeah, what a day that was. It'll live long in the memory bank. I mean, to beat Birmingham 8-0, that's when we really, really did start to believe we were going to achieve something this season. I love that as well. I remember that picture. But no, it was great to get my hat-trick. It's all I ever wanted as a kid. I wanted to score a hat-trick. I wanted to play football. I wanted to achieve my dreams, and I feel like I've still a lot more to achieve yet. But that Birmingham game was massive. I had an absolute nightmare first half. I couldn't trap a bag of cement as a joke with everyone there, and I was lucky not to be brought off at half time. But I got a goal, I grew in confidence, and we just every time we attacked, we looked like scoring, and delighted for the fans that day as well. And they started to believe, and as a group of players, we started to believe as well.
Now, obviously, you mentioned about Eddie Howe's first spell at the club. It was a difficult period for you when he did leave the club, in and out of the team. But when he did return, it was great to see you working hard, working at what you do, and the rewards came, didn't they, in the end?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I mean, when he came back, we were, I think, 19th in League One, and we were really struggling at the time. He came back. I think we went on a 20-plus unbeaten run to get promotion, and that just proves the effect he has, not only for results, but on a day-to-day basis. Coaching-wise, he gets credit, don't get me wrong, but what he does behind the scenes is just second to none. He'll be first in the building and last out every day. He'll be in the office at 6 or even before, I don't even know, and then he won't be leaving the stadium till 5, 6 in the evening. He's not just on the training ground, it's afterwards. He analyses, he records training, he works out where he needs to improve as an individual. He works out, what his players need, and if something needs improving in their game, he'll pull you in the office. He'll show you clips on how to work on different aspects of your game. So just the attention to details, second to none. And success is just based on hard work. And one of my favourite quotes in life is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I always stand by that with everything I do in life.
I think for quite a young manager as well, Eddie really commands the respect of the players. And looking at him, you wouldn't think there'd be a manager to shout and scream at players when the tough gets going.
Yeah, we've had a couple of arguments. I mean, to be at his level, you need to be not ruthless, but honest. I mean, if you're not performing well in training or in a game, he'll let you know about it. He's very relaxed, very calm. He has a nice manner, and he speaks to people how he expects to be spoken to. So he's really good on that respect. But if you're letting your standards drop, whether it be a player, whether it be a coach, he'll definitely tell you about it.
So obviously, yourself and Charlie Daniels formed quite a tight relationship down the left-hand side in the memorable 2014-2015 season, taking you back to that groundbreaking win over Bolton Wanderers of all sides, scoring the opening goal in a very special night for the football club, sealing promotion to the Premier League, securing top-flight football for the first time in the club's history. I imagine that was some night of celebrating for you all.
It was a great night. We had a great celebration afterwards, but then we had a game on a Saturday to clinch the title against Charlton. So, but we've getting promoted. Yeah, you've got to celebrate. It was an amazing night. Great to see how happy it made the town, the fans. And yeah, like you say, me and Charlie, we knew each other's game inside out, and it must have been a nightmare as a winger, as a fullback to play against us because we just worked so well together, attacking and defensive. So absolutely love my time playing with Charlie. He's the best left back I've played with throughout my career, and we just clicked. And yeah, what an amazing achievement for Bournemouth to get into the Premier League. And against your team, Bolton, you must have enjoyed that one.
yeah, I was actually there that night. Actually, I won't say enjoy. I enjoyed the scenes at the end. I enjoyed seeing Bournemouth get promotion the first time in the club's history. Let's just take a look at that memorable goal that you. And just what was going through your head there to turn the defender, to send the keeper, the ball going into the top right corner? What was your emotion as the ball struck the back of the net there?
Oh, I think it gives you shivers now, gives you goosebumps now thinking back. I mean, it's what you want as a footballer. You want moments like that, and I knew what I was going to do as soon as the ball came to me. I thought Fiends would have known what I was going to do actually, because I played with Fiends for a few years, and he knows I'm always chopping it. But but no, I was absolutely over the moon. I mean, when we got that first goal, we knew we were going to go on to win that game because the first goal is really important in football. But we were it's a mentality again. We were going into games knowing we were going to win before we actually stepped on the field. Yeah, you've got to work hard. Nothing's set in stone, but it's having that confidence and belief in you, your teammates, and all your preparation to go out and just do the job. And the first goal set us up nicely for that, but just gives you goosebumps. And I was absolutely buzzing.
So obviously, sealing promotion to the Premier League, you've been there and done it. You've been from Burnley as a 16-year-old. You've played in League One, the Championship, now a Premier League player. Just how did that feel to play your first Premier League game for Bournemouth? Just how was that feeling walking out?
It was really special actually, because you've got all the TV cameras focused on you, dealing with the pressure. I mean, pressure in football's ridiculous, as you know, and I just love these pressure situations, and to test yourselves against world-class players. It's what you want. You want to reach for the top, and it's all right getting to the top. You've got to stay there for long periods because, as you've seen, Bournemouth have been in there now 4 or 5 seasons, and it's all right getting there. You've got to stay there. It's like whenever you do a red zone run or what have you, it's staying in that red zone and not dropping below it. It's you've got to work tirelessly. I never thought at any point, look, I've made it, because once you think you've made it, then you're gonna start your performances and your mentality is gonna slightly dip. So you've just got to keep pushing yourself, and because it's unformidable. It's incredible, the Premier League, the athletes, the quality. It's second to none.
I imagine it must give you a lot of hunger and desire as well, playing against some of the best players in the world, the likes of Thierry Henry in his prime, and the amount of shirts you must have collected over the years as well, swapping a few shirts at the end of matches. I imagine you've got quite a collection. Yeah,
I've got a few. I've got some good players actually. Hazard, David Silva, Fabregas. I've got some really good shirts, and had a lot of nice compliments along the way. Actually, I remember when we played Chelsea, Fabregas having a chat with me after the game, saying, "Oh, I really like the way your Bournemouth team play. You pass the ball really well, and it's a real credit to you." So for people at that level to say something like that, you must be doing something right. And we passed the ball really well that day and got hammered 3-0, I think it was. I said to him, I remember saying to him, well, we're obviously not good enough yet if we're still getting battered 3-0. He said, no, you just stick to your beliefs. You keep doing what you're doing and this will turn around for you. So, no, that was really nice.
Yeah, it's great to hear these sort of stories because obviously being in the public eye, you need to keep professional at all times. You don't really get to hear about stories and stuff that happened off the pitch. It's a great sport, football, and the professionalism shown from players on the longevity of their careers is really fantastic. But obviously, we're in lockdown now, so it gives you a lot of time to do stuff that you wouldn't normally have time to do because you're always traveling, hotels, flights, or travel. You don't really get to spend time with friends and family, although you can't really come into close contact with anybody outside of Bournemouth.
Of course, yeah. I've obviously, I'll be really chuffed when we can get back to normal and we can start playing football and we can start interacting with people. But I've absolutely loved my time with my family. I live for my kids, my wife, and they inspire me every day to be the best I can be, not only as a football player, but as a dad, as a husband. Everything I do, whether it be my cooking, I just want to do it to the best of my ability because, without them, I wouldn't have had the success I had because I always swear to this day that when we had our kids, I wanted to be successful for them. I wanted to give them a good life. Yeah, I wanted to do it for myself, but I think it's important that when they're older, they look at me and think, yeah, I'm proud of my dad. So, that'll mean the world to me.
So, of course, let's move into the Premier League itself. You, of course, scored your first Premier League goal during that memorable 4-3 win over West Ham, which culminated in scoring goals in each of the top 5 divisions in English football, a guard of honour as well during the Tottenham Hotspur match for you, obviously leaving Bournemouth, which was quite emotional for you.
Yeah, really, really sad. I mean, it was taken out of my hands in the end. I was told I weren't going to get another year contract because I was willing to fight for my place and work hard in my final season at Bournemouth. I think I was in my 9th year on my contract. Yeah, to be told I wasn't getting another contract, it got to the point where I had an honest chat with a gaffer, Eddie, and I said to him, look, if I'm not playing any football up to January, I need to get a loan move to get myself back in the shop window because in football you get forgotten about very easily if you're not playing. I didn't want to stay in my comfort zone, just turn up for training, not get anything at the end of it, not even be in the squad. So come January, I went on loan to Hull, done really well, scored 3 goals, got a couple of assists in, I think it was like 10, 14 starts. I can't remember the exact figures, but that was really good for me. Nigel Atkins, a great manager, loved him to bits, and he was excellent man manager, just an all-round great guy. And that set me up nicely for my move to QPR. But yeah, like you say, really emotional to leave Bournemouth. Made some lifelong friends. I just enjoyed every moment of my time, and the fans still are an absolutely incredible bunch.
Let's just relive that moment where you were welcomed out onto the Dean Court pitch. Obviously, 2015 was quite a year, wasn't it, Mark? Obviously, securing top-flight football for the first time in the club's history. But I do know one man who was very happy, a good friend of mine, Scott Mitchell, the former BDO world champion back in 2015. And you have beaten Scott. I've seen the footage, which we'll be showing very shortly. But yeah, you sort of, I know a lot of professional footballers play darts down the pub or watch it on the TV. Do you pay any attention to it at all?
I love the darts, absolutely love it. I mean, Premier League darts, the World Championships. I grew up playing darts with my dad. We went to the pub, that kind of thing. And I love a game of darts. And yeah, like you say, I think he's never going to live that down. It'll always happen in conversation. And he went into the match against me full of confidence, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna beat a professional footballer. He might be good with his feet, but he's not good with his arrows." But no, done really well. I think, what was the checkout?
114. Yeah.
114. Yeah, so bit, not your usual route, but finished it off nicely.
Yeah, you'll never see that route ever gone in, like you say, in a World Championship. You'll never see a player go that way. So yes, on to Scott. He's a very busy guy. He owns his own farm, so he's constantly working. He's obviously a former world champion, plays on the circuit a lot, but he's also a massive Bournemouth fan. Goes to every game he can. He was actually at the Bolton game, I believe, in one of the boxes when you fired that ball into the top right corner. Have you met Scott on any occasion at all, apart from obviously when you played darts?
Yeah, I've met Scott a few times. Love him to bits. Got a lovely family, lovely wife, and yeah, it's just when you meet someone, you just know instantly that they're a nice person. He's one of them people. He's got a friendly face. He's got a lovely tone about his voice, and we got on really well from the off. We speak on Twitter quite regularly, and yeah, just a lot of love for Scott. He works hard. He's a good darts player. I always, when he's in his World Championship games, I always try and tune in to watch him. And yeah, a lot of respect for him. But I think he's got a lot more respect for me now when I beat him, though.
Oh, definitely. Let's just take a look at that.
14, there we go.
Oh, you are joking. Now, what double do you need?
I need to count now.
Double 16.
Double 16.
Yes. I'd love to say well played, but it is well played.
That is straight on Twitter.
I like the
I'll have to take a picture of that, won't I? Do you want to stand next to it?
I'm not standing anywhere near you. He used to be my favourite player.
Should we take a picture?
Unconventional to say the least. I think Scott was he was obviously willing it to go in, but sort of wasn't expecting it to go in, judging by his reaction there.
Very unconventional. Yeah, I mean, I misjudged the flight of the dart, actually. I was aiming for the treble 20 for start, and it went in double top. but no, yeah, it was. I buzzed off that. It was great to beat it because I think we were playing 201 or 301. I can't remember what it was now. So I knew if I didn't check out early days, then he wouldn't be long behind. So it was great to see that going.
So obviously you mentioned before, obviously after Bournemouth, you went on a loan spell to Hull City. Just how was your time at the KC Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, again, that was a real big challenge because for the first 6-7 games, I hardly played any football. Obviously, no one's guaranteed a spot in the team. I was coming from the Premier League. We had some quality wingers at the time in Gerard Bourne and Kamil Grzycki, so I knew it was going to be difficult. So after about 6 games, the gaffer played me as a 10 in behind the striker. I scored on my debut against Millwall, scored on TV against Norwich, and I was on a real good run of form. And once I knew I was getting in the team, I knew I could stay there because I have a lot of belief in my own ability. So yeah, I mean, lot of challenges along the way. It was a long way from my family. I moved end of January. Luckily, it coincided with the Easter holidays in March, so the family could come up for a few weeks. But I think I only got back to Bournemouth maybe twice. I was spending large periods away from them. And as everyone who knows me, I love spending time with my wife and kids away from football. So it was just trying to keep myself busy, things to do. I made a lot of close friends up in Hull, some of the Hull lads. Great set of lads again. And yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, everyone sees obviously the other side of the professional football. All they see is the money and the fame and everything else. But it really is hard because you've got to stay away from all that. You've got to sort of isolate yourself away from anything, and it does get tough, doesn't it?
There's a lot of sacrifice involved. It's an amazing job. I couldn't wish for a better job. But yeah, you need to be mentally strong. You need to make a lot of sacrifices. You're always thinking of the next game. You play a game on a Saturday and you've got a game on Tuesday. You can't go off and have a drink, really relax over your weekend because you've got to recover and be ready for the game on Tuesday, or otherwise you got found out. Because as we know in football, especially if you're a keeper, if you've got a couple of players in your position, once you come out of the team, it can take an awful lot. It can take a long time to get back into it. You can spend 4, 5, 6 weeks not even featuring. So yeah, it's really important. Your mindset is bulletproof.
So on to July. Obviously, you joined QPR in the summer on a 1-year deal with an option for another year. Just how's it going there overall? And are you looking forward to next season and the future before you obviously call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, I've loads left in the legs. I feel the best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
I feel better than I do when I was 22, 23. I'm out of contract as it stands in the summer, so I'm not sure what's going to happen as regards to the football situation at the moment. But we shall see on that. I just I'll take that as it comes. I'll keep myself in the best shape I can. I'll be ready when called upon. Yeah, we don't know when football is going to start back up, but I think it's important we have that mindset that when it does, our body's in good condition to deal with that, because you can do all the running in the world, you can do all the fitness work, but you can't replicate what happens in a game. There's that many high-speed runs, sprints, checking, turning, and along with all that, being physically able to do it, you've got to show the technique in the 70th, 80th minute to handle the ball when you are fatigued.
Yeah, there's talks of the game coming back in June, maybe the second, third week in June. But like we've seen this weekend with the Bundesliga returning, it's an unfamiliar sight watching football behind closed doors with no fans allowed in the stadiums and stuff.
Yeah, it's really strange. I mean, obviously, I don't know what phase of training a lot of clubs are in or what have you. But yeah, I mean, to be speaking early June at the moment when clubs aren't actually in full training, it's crazy. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, and we've got to just take it as it comes, respect everyone's decision, and like I said, the health and safety of everyone involved is the most important thing. There's still a lot of people dying in the world, so we've got to take it really seriously, and just not only for that, but for our families as well.
So finally, Mark, before we do wrap things up, I did put a tweet out earlier on asking for any questions, and I picked the best one out, which is from our friend Scott Mitchell, of all people. It says, through darts, I've met his chairman at Hereford, who sold him to Bournemouth, who, when I spoke to him, was very proud and felt it was deserved he'd made it, being a Premier League player. He's just a genuinely lovely bloke, no matter where he's been, doing it by just being himself.
Yeah, that sums him up. I mean, at the end of the day, like it's important to never change. Just be yourself, and don't worry about what other people think of you. Just like I say, never change for anyone. Work hard, believe in your ability, be confident, and yeah, the nice people in life can go really far. I mean, just stick to your beliefs. And like I said, I've always believed, I've always set myself goals. I still have aspirations to get back into the Premier League. And yeah, I will never stop believing, for sure.
Marc Pugh, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and I wish you all the best with whatever life has in store of your future football prospects. And it's been fantastic speaking to you.
Thanks, buddy. Same to you. Appreciate that. Great speaking to you.
Cheers, Mark. Thanks.
Cheers, mate.